So it's weigh-in Wednesday. You see the smile on my face? Do you see it? Do you see the smile? Yeah, well, it's gone. Yeah. So I gained 5.8 pounds this week. Yes, I did. I lost 6.8 pounds last week, gained 5.8 pounds this week. So I'm still down a pound in the last 2 weeks, but I'm experimenting with Weight Watchers. So I'm upset about this gain, but at the same time, I learned a lot of information. I was still very Weight Watcher compliant, but I swapped my activity points all week, and I used them. Remember I thought I was swapping them last week, and I couldn't find that setting? I found that setting, and I wasn't swapping them last week. But I did swap them this past week, and I used them. I used my weeklies as I felt necessary. And of course, I maxed out my points most of the days. So I maxed out my dailies most of the day. Then I went into weekly and activity points. So at the end of the week, I still had extra weeklies left, but it's because the activity points bump up your weeklies. So while I was still within Weight Watchers' plan, I pushed it to not exactly the limit, but I pushed it pretty good. I wanted to see what would happen if I did that. Now I know. Yeah, won't be doing that this week. No, I will not. But I know, and it was a good learning experience. Also, I did eat a lot. I mean, you guys saw my pictures. I've eaten a lot this week, but it is nearing that beautiful monthly visit. Sorry, guys. So, could some of it be that? Yeah, probably. All of it could be, may not be. I don't know. I'm not going to make excuses. I know what I've eaten this week. I know that I was technically still Weight Watcher compliant and within plan. However, I did push that plan. I pushed it a lot. So, my goal going forward this week is to, first of all, get more water in, because I also had a lot more soda this week. Pop soda. I call it both. I had a lot more this week than I would normally have, and that may be contributing to some water retention and bloating. So I want to decrease the amount of soda intake and increase my water again. And I may throw some unsweetened tea in there, sweetened with Splenda. Gotta have Splenda. But that's my number one goal. My other thing that I'm going to do differently this week is I'm going to switch that setting on that app, and it is not going to be swapping activity points. So I'm still going to accumulate them. However, I'm not going to be using them at all. Just not going to do it. That did not work for me this week. Clearly, that did not work for me. So, lesson learned. I pushed the limits, and it backfired on me really well. Now I know. So, yeah, I won't be doing that again. Lesson learned. I hope. Nah, lesson learned. Just kidding, guys. So, anyway, up 5.8. Not happy about it. I see a lot of people come on and they're like, yeah, I'm okay with it. I'm not okay with this, though. And while I know what caused it, well, there's several different factors that could have caused it, but the majority of it, I think, was just I ate too much this week. I think I just used too many points. While they were there for me to use and they were readily available for me to use, I used too many. One of my biggest complaints about the Weight Watcher online app is that I don't feel you get the information you would get in a meeting, or even that you would have gotten with the app before. And what I mean by that is there's no real plan guidelines for you. You plug in your information and it tells you how many points you get, how many weekly points you get. You can set it to swap your activity points or not, but it doesn't give you any limits within that. For example, it doesn't say, hey, yeah, you can use your activity points, but you should only use 4 or 6. Or, you know what I'm saying? Or ideally, you don't want to go over in your weeklies this many points. Unless I'm missing it somewhere on the app, and it's very possible I am because I didn't see the swapping thing at first. So I'm just wondering, is there a better way? A better app? I think there could be. I think they could improve it. I think they could improve it a lot. But I'm not angry with the app at all. I'm not blaming the app. It's not the app. Let me tell you. The app did not put food in my mouth this week. I did. But I think guidelines would be helpful. Pamphlets or like a beginner packet, or even if there was like a newsletter or something that you could click on the app that would give you more of those. And in fairness, I haven't really clicked on many articles, so maybe it's in there somewhere and I just haven't seen it yet. So that might be another goal for this week, is to click on some of those and get even more familiar with the app, because I feel like I was tossed into it, and while I'm somewhat computer savvy, I'm not the greatest at it, but I'm not like my grandma would be if she were trying to use a computer for the first time. So I don't know. I mean, I just think that as far as being user-friendly, I don't feel it is. I don't feel it is. The best feature on it that I found is the barcode, where you can scan your food item, because that's the only way to be the most accurate. So, I mean, as far as finding your food in there, that's the easiest way to find it and to be the most accurate. So we shall see. Another thing I'm going to do this week is try to keep my meals a bit more low carb. And it's not that I'm doing low carb or anything, but I'm a diabetic. So I need low carb because my sugars have been up since I started Weight Watchers, because I can have all those carbs now. But that can affect my eyes negatively. So I need to be really careful with that. And well, I'll get into that later. I'll do a separate video on that. But, so low carb is a goal for me. That's not to say I won't have any carbs. In fact, for breakfast, I had half a sweet potato. So I'm going to have carbs. I am. But I need to keep them at a minimal and try to pick and choose the carbs that aren't going to like skyrocket my sugar or my weight. It is what it is. And what it is a 5.8 pound gain, which in all honesty, it sucks. But I'm sure that I've earned every ounce of it, either by eating or just by my body in that time of the month coming near. I don't know. But hopefully next week will be better. And I say hopefully not because I'm unsure of how I'm going to do this week, because I know I'm going to rock it this week, but because I don't know what my body's going to do next week. Like, I don't know. I know I'm nearing that time to start. And I know that that's going to affect weight loss or weight gain. So, I don't know. But you will see my food. Yes, you will. You will see everything. Yes. And you will see portion sizes and all that good stuff like I've been showing you. So, it is what it is. I definitely... Sorry, guys. You didn't need to hear me hacking. I definitely see the difference in portion sizes in the other Weight Watcher videos I watch, the other Weight Watcher vloggers. So I know that my portion sizes tend to be bigger, but I also tend to try to fill those with veggies and some fruit, but mostly veggies. I'm a big veggie eater. I love veggies, so that's good. So I will fill a plate with veggies most of the time. And it didn't help that last night for dinner that I made, which by the way was so yummy. It really was yummy. But it is really expensive in points, and I was not full at one serving. I had two. So that really, really sent me over into my weeklies. Because it was 19 points for one serving. And a serving being about that size, I mean, pretty decent. But I was still hungry. I had a second serving. So 38 points. I counted it. I ate it. I enjoyed it. I was content after it. But it, you know, it is what it is. That is a meal that I will definitely make again. However, when I make it again, it will be on a day when I just have a lot of extra points. So that, or that I plan around that meal. So that I'm not going into weeklies, or if I am going to weeklies, it's only a couple. So here's my question for you, all you Weight Watcher people who vlog, and you're doing this too. What limits do you set for yourself? Because that's where I'm lacking. I mean, the points are a limit, don't get me wrong, but you have all those weekly points that you can use throughout the week. Do you set a limit on how many you allow yourself a day? Or do you not use any? Do you try to use only so many? What are you doing? Because I guess you could just average it out and divide that into 7 days and only try to stick to that many a day. And I know there are going to be days when you're going to use more and days when you're going to use less. But I'm just wondering, like, what tips and tricks do you use to try to not go overboard like I did this week? Because while I still had many points left for the week, and I had something like 24 points left of my weeklies, but it was because of my activity points. If I wasn't swapping my activity points, I'd have probably been in the hole a lot. So, because I earned a lot of activity points this week. So I'm just wondering, you know, what are you guys doing? What are you doing differently? And I know a lot of you might be doing Simply Filling. And I do want to do that. And I had planned to do that after the first month of doing smartpoints. But I'm thinking I might want to do smartpoints a little bit longer, just to make sure I have the basics down. The portions, portion sizes, portion control. I think that's an issue for me. Yeah, I think it's an issue for me. And I think I could probably get by on less food, sometimes half the food. Last night, no, I could not. I was starving last night. I was really hungry. But most of the time, my biggest meal is usually breakfast. And then lunch is, but dinner is usually kind of middle ground. But breakfast is usually my highest point meal of the day, with the exception of yesterday. Dinner definitely was. So, I don't know. I don't mind having a high point breakfast because it tends to hold me over longer. I'm not as hungry, and it's not like I'm starving come lunchtime. But between lunch and dinner, I am usually very hungry. So I might want to throw a snack in there or something just to kind of satiate me so that I'm not starving come dinner time and eat too much. That might be a good trick. I may need to do that. So I may try that this week too. I may try to schedule in a snack. There are some times when I have a late lunch, so that just isn't possible. But most of the time, my lunch is around the same time of day. So I had to check the time. So, I mean, it's feasible to throw a snack in there. I'm thinking, processing this little brain. I think that's probably a good idea for me because I do tend to be a lot more hungry in the evening. And even after my meal, I tend to snack at night, which is fine as long as it's within my points and I'm hungry. That's fine. I mean, the popcorn is 3 points, guys. And it's delicious. Delicious. Love the Jolly Time kettle corn popcorn. Yes, I do. So, unfortunately, so does my family. They want me to share. What's up with that? Yeah, anyway. I wish I could share enough to cut some points off of it, though. But I'm just trying to think of new things I can do this week to make the outcome on the scale next Wednesday better. And since I know what I've done this week, and I'm pretty sure it was and is what is wrong, I kind of know how to fix that. But I want to make sure that I don't do this again. Because it's so easy to flip that little button that swaps. And I did it on purpose because I wanted to see what would happen if I did. You know, would I maybe just lose less? No, I did not. Would I maybe just maintain? No, I did not. Would I gain a little? No, I did not. I gained a lot. So I've gained knowledge, which is priceless. But I feel like I know I'm still down a pound, but I feel like I've taken 2 weeks backwards. Like I'm going to fight all over again for that 5.8 pounds, which will probably take me longer than it took me the first time. And honestly, I would not have been surprised to have a gain today because my loss was so big last week, but I did not anticipate this at all. Didn't anticipate this, and maybe I should have. But I stayed true. I swapped those activity points all week. People don't do this. Don't do it. Don't. Or if you are going to swap, don't swap as many. And the thing is, you don't get to pick and choose. You don't get to pick and choose which days you swap or how many you swap. And Weight Watchers, I would love to be able to do that. Like I would love to be able to set a daily limit, or today I'm going to use 2 points of my activity, but that's it. Or 4 points, and that's it. But tomorrow I'm not using any. Do you see what I'm saying? So I really wish that there was the ability to do that. If there is, I haven't found it yet. But give me time, because I am definitely playing with the app. And this week, the playing, well, kind of bit me back in the butt. But hey, I've learned. And now I'm moving on, because beating myself up will do me no good. It's not going to take that weight back off. So here's to a new week. And no swapping of activity points this week. All right, guys. 5.8 pound gain. And I know I've said it a dozen times probably, but I didn't even want to come on here to tell you in the first place. I didn't even want to say it. I looked at that and I'm like, maybe I should weigh in tomorrow. Maybe I should change my weigh-in day to Saturdays. You know, you play those games with yourself. But no, I owned it. And I can't change it this week, but I sure can work hard to change it next week. All right, guys, bye. See ya.